Why are you ignoring me? Okay, so we all know that kids and adults sometimes do things to get our attention, all right? Whether it's to get good attention, like, Mommy, look at me, look what I just did, or if it's smacking their sibling because that's what's going to get your attention. All right, so there's something called planned ignoring. If a behavior is being maintained by attention, we want to not give attention for that negative behavior, but rather give attention for good behaviors we want to see, okay? So in order to ignore the behavior, we need to do just that. Ignore it. Not make eye contact, not make a comment about it, okay? If someone starts doing something and you're like, I'm gonna start ignoring you, I'm not going to talk to you if you keep doing that. You better stop, because I'm not playing with you when that's happening. I'm not going to do it. What did you just give them? A ton of attention, okay? Just because you think that you're reprimanding them, it's still attention that you're giving them. Okay, and I'm not saying that we're going to walk around just ignoring behavior. That's not what I'm saying at all. If you have a plan in place, you're trying to work on something, and you know that attention is one of the key functions of it, and that's what you're working on, if you're going to use the planned ignoring strategy, you need to do it properly, okay? You have to follow through. Because let's say even, all right, you ignore for a few minutes, and the kid starts yelling and stomping their feet even louder, and finally you're like, oh my goodness, okay. What did they just learn? If I keep going long enough, I'll get their attention, okay? Versus waiting for a moment that they're engaged in an appropriate behavior, okay? Whether you've stopped the behavior you're focusing on. And that could be, the kids screaming, yelling, stomping their feet, and they stop for a second just to take a breath. Catch that moment. Good job taking a deep breath. It might catch them off guard for a second, and they might actually stop. Or they might start screaming and yelling again. All right, wait. The next time that they catch a breath, or they sit down, or they put their hands down, make a comment. Give them some attention at that point. All right. You can also, if there's other kids around, you can give them attention for the appropriate behaviors they're exhibiting. Okay, so kid A is screaming, tantruming, whatnot. Kid B is sitting playing or coloring or reading. I really love how you're coloring and reading. Give that attention for the appropriate behavior. Here's another thing to keep in mind as we're talking about attention. If you know that your child really likes attention, your child, your spouse, your friend, you know that they really like attention, set up time, have an idea and time set aside to give them attention, all right? Engage in an activity with them. Provide that attention proactively so that it doesn't get to the point where they feel the need to maybe act out in order to get your attention, all right? So that's a little side note about attention, and something that I know I have to work on because, especially as moms, we're trying to get everything done. We need to make sure that we are dishing out the attention where it needs to be. Okay, so recap. If you're going to use planned ignoring, you're going to ignore. All right, so are you going to say, I'm ignoring you, I'm not going to talk to you until you stop, no one's going to play with you? No, you're just giving a ton of attention. So no, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep an eye on them to make sure that they're safe, but we're going to kind of be a blank slate, all right? Show no emotion, don't get worked up, no comments, no eye contact, ignore the behavior, right? And sometimes it's tough. It can be very tough. So again, if you plan on using planned ignoring, you have to be ready to follow through. and make sure you give tons of attention for those behaviors that you want to see. Reinforce the junk out of them. And let's all keep behaving better.